Hey everyone, it's me, Master Walrus 9. I just finished Digimon World DS, and so I'm here to give you my 5-minute review of it. Click that subtitle. Let's go. Digimon World DS is a game released in November 8th, 2006. North America is released around June, July in Japan. It's published by Bandai Namco and it was met with solid reviews. You're looking around 30s out of 40s, 70s to 75s out of 100. It was not the best game to go about playing, but it was good. It is its first in its line. Now, in the past, most of the Digimon games have been of the Digimon World franchise, which is more of an adventure, open world, some RPG elements, a lot of collectathon, but it wasn't like how it is in Digimon World DS. Digimon World DS in Japan was actually called Digimon Story, and it's the first in its line of the Digimon Story games. These are going to be games like Dusk Dawn, Last Evolution, Cyber Sleuth, Hacker's Memory, and at this time, the upcoming Time Stranger. In Digimon World DS, you get your starter Digimon. You got Tsunomon, you got Tanemon, and you got Koromon. And what makes this game cool compared to other games like Pokemon is that you're actually able to collect them all in some way later throughout the game. So, I start out with Tsunomon. Early access, I have more availability to Tsunomons if I want to get a better one. But I do have the options to get Tanemon later, and I do have the options to get Koromon later. So that's really nice. In Pokemon, you would have to trade out in order to get those Pokemon. But here, you could get through most of it in a single player story sense. Now, the way this does is through Digivolution. In Pokemon, most of your Pokemon have a single path for evolution. Digimon, you have multiple paths. So for example, I got a Tillamon here. Tillamon digivolves from Wizardmon here, but can digivolve into Cherubimon Evil, Cherubimon Good, or Chaos Gallantmon. So, and Tillamon has multiple paths that she can take. Now, and Tillamon also can de-digivolve, which means I can go to a lower state in order to get more powerful. So, while you will not find Tanemon in the wild, you will find Renamon, and Renamon will allow you to de-digivolve into Tanemon and get through those routes. This is very unique and able to go back. It allows for more optimizations of traits and skills. The gameplay is what I consider 3-on-3. You pick 3 of your guys to be up front, in this case I only had 2 at the time, and your opponents will have 3 of their guys up front, sometimes more if you're doing the story, and you fight. There's a speed aspect that determines who goes first and in what order, but really it comes down to who has more defense to tank hits, who's got more attack power to deal out hits. They refined in later games the damage system and type effectiveness, but in the early games it was very much more simple. The story does have you going through and doing some bosses. Arguably, if you get through the story really quick and put your nose to the grindstone, you can get done in like, I don't know, 5 to 10 hours. It'll be a bit of grinding, but it won't take too long. The story's super simple. You're not gonna get any rewards with it. However, in its simplicity, it is very nice for an introductory game for kids. The gameplay can get a bit difficult, but really, if you're training right, you'll be fine. Your goal is to become the Tamer King. Now, you have a series of missions. You start off as a rookie Tamer, and you come up bronze, a silver, a gold, a platinum, and finally Tamer King. Arguably, most of the routes seem good, and your progress made sense, except for becoming Tamer King. That was very much short. Also, you have little side missions, whereas a lot of the extension of the gameplay comes from. You have your Digimon on a farm. It's supposed to represent a Digivice like how you would have in the toy. You can interact with your Digimon on the farm, and you can train them and whatnot, and sometimes they'll have missions if you hit certain criteria. So, you do this, you improve their friendship, you get some Tamer points, and yada. Lots of big Digimon for you to collect and play with. Ultimately a good game. Final ranking, 7.5 chucks. I think the game's fine. I think that if you want to play a Digimon game, this is it. Because this is a great starting point. It's accessible, being on the DS. It was cheap because it was never crazy big. It's not the greatest one. You might want to play Hacker's Memory or Cyber Sleuth. Those are good games as well. But I say, look into this if you're a Digimon fan. All right, stay sloppy. Bye.